The corridors of the Manhattan courthouse buzzed with an electricity that was unusual even for celebrity trials. Paparazzi lenses clattered, reporters elbowed for position, and fans of the Bronx-born rapper Cardi B lined the sidewalks chanting her lyrics as if the courthouse steps had transformed into a stage. On this day, the headlines would write themselves. Cardi B not only wins her lawsuit but also countersues for $500,000. The ruling was not just another celebrity courtroom drama. It was a rare legal moment in which a star both fended off legal attacks and went on the offensive, sending a message that she would not be intimidated, bullied, or disrespected in the halls of justice. Her countersuit for $500,000 turned what could have been the end of a battle into the start of a broader campaign, reshaping the narrative and leaving her opponents reeling. Cardi, known legally as Belcalis Marlenis Almanzar, has never been shy about confrontation. Whether in her music, her interviews, or her social media presence, she has always faced criticism and conflict with unflinching candor. But this legal saga pushed her into new territory. For months, tabloids framed the lawsuit as a threat to her reputation and finances. Yet when the gavel finally fell, she emerged not only vindicated but emboldened. "This is about principle," Cardi declared to a throng of microphones after the decision. Dressed in a dark tailored suit with diamond earrings glinting under the sun, she projected both triumph and determination. "You can't come for me with lies and think I'll just let it slide. Respect is non-negotiable, and if you waste my time in court, you're going to pay for it." Her words captured the essence of the day, a victory not merely in dollars but in dignity. The origins of the case stretched back to late 2022, when Cardi attended a high-profile charity gala at the Grand Astoria Hotel in New York. The event, a black-tie fundraiser featuring celebrities, athletes, and business moguls, should have been another glamorous evening in her whirlwind career. But what unfolded behind the velvet curtains became fodder for tabloid speculation and ultimately set the stage for legal fireworks. According to court documents, the conflict began when Cardi was accused by Avery Kane, a wealthy investor with ties to the entertainment industry, of defamation and reputational harm. Kane claimed that during the gala, Cardi publicly accused him of harassment and misconduct, allegedly damaging his business relationships. He filed a $2 million lawsuit against her, alleging slander, emotional distress, and loss of contract opportunities. At first, many dismissed the lawsuit as opportunistic, a wealthy man targeting a wealthy woman, banking on her desire to settle quietly rather than endure the glare of litigation. But Kane's legal team pursued the case aggressively, feeding sensational details to the media and framing Cardi as reckless with her words. Headlines screamed of Cardi's gala meltdown, painting a picture of a star out of control. For Cardi, the lawsuit was infuriating. In her telling, Kane had acted inappropriately toward her and several other women at the gala, making lewd remarks and invading personal boundaries. Far from defaming him, she argued, her comments were the truth, and truth is an absolute defense. By early 2023, pre-trial hearings had already become a media spectacle. Kane's attorneys insisted Cardi was attempting to weaponize her celebrity status against their client, while Cardi's team countered that the suit was a textbook case of a powerful man attempting to silence a woman through intimidation. The stage was set for a showdown that would stretch into 2024, testing not only legal arguments but cultural values about credibility, accountability, and the blurred line between reputation and reality in the age of social media. The trial began in February 2024, and from the first gavel strike it was clear this was no ordinary proceeding. Security was heightened. Overflow rooms with live video feeds were arranged for journalists and fans. Commentators on cable news breathlessly described each development as if it were an election night. Inside, the atmosphere oscillated between tense silence and dramatic bursts of testimony. Cardi, represented by the formidable attorney Vanessa Ortiz, adopted a posture of calm determination. Ortiz, known for her surgical precision in cross-examination, built the case meticulously, piece by piece dismantling Cain's narrative and reinforcing Cardi's version of events. Key testimonies: several women testified in support of Cardi's account, claiming that Cain had indeed made inappropriate comments during the gala. One described how he leaned too close, whispering remarks that left her uncomfortable. Another recalled him making a crude joke about her dress. While none of the incidents rose to criminal levels, the pattern painted a damaging portrait. Cardi herself took the stand for nearly 6 hours over 2 days. She recounted the night with detail, describing Cain's behavior, her discomfort, and the moment she spoke up. "I wasn't going to stay quiet," she told the jury. "If you see something wrong, you say it. That's what I did, and now I'm being punished for it." Her testimony was emotional but controlled, punctuated with moments of raw honesty. "I've been judged all my life, for how I talk, how I dress, how I move. But what I won't accept is being judged for speaking the truth." Evidence, perhaps the most damning evidence, came from video footage taken by a guest at the gala. Though grainy, the clip captured Cain making an awkward advance toward Cardi at the bar. The audio was faint but suggested he made a suggestive comment. Cardi could be seen pulling away, visibly uncomfortable. Cain's legal team attempted to downplay the footage, arguing that the words were unclear and that body language was open to interpretation. But combined with the testimonies, it reinforced Cardi's credibility. Cross-examination: Cain's cross-examination of Cardi was sharp, aiming to paint her as exaggerating the encounter for attention. His lead attorney asked whether Cardi often thrived on confrontation in her career. Cardi's reply drew murmurs in the courtroom. Confrontation in music is entertainment. Confrontation in real life, when a man disrespects me, is survival. The line was replayed across television broadcasts and trended on Twitter, transforming from courtroom remark to cultural moment. The jury's decision: after 2 weeks of testimony and 3 days of deliberation, the jury delivered its verdict. Cardi B was not guilty of defamation. Cain's claims were dismissed outright, and his attempt to extract millions collapsed under the weight of evidence. The jury foreperson, speaking afterward, noted, "We found her to be credible. The defense relied too heavily on speculation and ignored the testimonies of multiple witnesses." The courtroom erupted in murmurs, and outside, fans cheered. Cardi clasped her attorney's hand, relief washing over her face. For her, the victory was not simply about avoiding financial liability but about reclaiming her reputation from weeks of damaging headlines. "This is justice," she said afterward. "This is proof that speaking the truth cannot be punished." At that point, most assumed the saga would end. Cardi had won. Kane had lost. Case closed. But Cardi B was not done. In a move that stunned both the public and legal observers, she immediately filed a countersuit for $500,000 against Kane, alleging malicious prosecution, emotional distress, and the costs incurred from defending herself against a baseless lawsuit. The second act of the drama was just beginning. Just hours after being cleared of defamation, Cardi B and her attorney Vanessa Ortiz strode back into the courthouse clerk's office, filing a countersuit seeking $500,000 in damages. The timing was deliberate, almost theatrical. Instead of basking in victory and retreating from the spotlight, Cardi doubled down. Her filing alleged that Avery Kane's lawsuit had been a malicious prosecution, designed to intimidate and silence her. She argued that the months-long ordeal had inflicted emotional distress, damaged her business opportunities, and forced her to incur hundreds of thousands in legal fees. The countersuit demanded that Kane be held accountable for weaponizing the courts to protect his reputation at her expense. Legal analysts were stunned. It's not every day that a celebrity wins a lawsuit and then immediately counterattacks, said legal commentator Rachel Myers on NBC. Most would walk away, chalk it up as a win, and move on. Cardi is sending a message. You mess with me, you pay for it. Inside the courtroom, round 2, the countersuit advanced quickly, thanks in part to the extensive evidence already presented in the original trial. Cardi's team framed the case as simple. Kane knowingly pursued a frivolous claim, banking on Cardi's fear of reputational damage. They argued that his actions were reckless, vindictive, and costly. Cardi's testimony. Once again, Cardi B took the stand. This time, she was less defensive and more assertive, flipping the script. For more than a year, I had to wake up every day and see my name dragged through the mud because of a lie, she told the jury. He thought I'd pay him to go away. But I'm not built like that. I fought, I won, and now I'm asking you to recognize the damage he caused. She described the toll on her mental health, panic attacks before court dates, canceled performances due to stress, and nights of insomnia replaying the incident in her mind. She revealed that brand deals had been delayed because companies feared associating with her while litigation loomed. I built my career from nothing, she said. Every dollar I have came from grinding. When somebody tries to take that from me with lies, it's not just disrespectful, it's cruel. The defense, Kane's attorneys sought to dismiss the countersuit as retaliatory. They argued that their client had simply exercised his right to legal recourse and that losing a lawsuit did not automatically make it malicious. They portrayed Cardi's filing as an attempt to financially ruin Kane, framing her as a wealthy celebrity punishing an ordinary man. But Ortiz dismantled that argument by producing evidence from internal emails leaked during discovery. In one, a member of Kane's advisory circle wrote, "If we push hard enough, she'll settle, nobody wants this in the papers." The implication was clear. Kane's lawsuit was less about seeking justice and more about leveraging pressure for financial gain. Witnesses, Cardi's team brought forward industry professionals, event planners, brand representatives, and mental health experts, who attested to the fallout from the original case. One marketing executive testified that her company paused a multi-million-dollar campaign with Cardi because of uncertainty surrounding the lawsuit. A therapist described her as exhibiting signs of prolonged stress consistent with harassment. The defense called few witnesses, relying primarily on legal technicalities. But their narrative lacked the emotional resonance of Cardi's testimony. Closing arguments verdict. In her closing argument, Ortiz looked directly at the jury. This case is about accountability. Mr. Cain thought he could use the courts as a weapon, that he could scare Ms. Almanzar into silence or into writing a check. But the truth prevailed once, and now it must prevail again. When lawsuits are filed maliciously, they cause real harm. It's time to tell the world that justice cannot be manipulated. The jury deliberated for less than a day before returning its verdict. Cardi B had proven her case. She was awarded $500,000 in damages. Though the sum was a fraction of Cain's initial demand, the symbolic victory was enormous. Cardi had not only defended her reputation but had turned the tables, forcing her accuser to pay. When the judge read the verdict, Cardi smiled faintly and whispered, "Thank you," to her attorney. Outside, she addressed the crowd. "I hope this shows people that if you stand on truth, you can't be broken. I didn't ask for this fight, but I finished it. And I finished it strong." Public media reaction. The public reaction was immediate and intense. Fans, on social media, Cardi's supporters erupted with joy. The hashtag #500K counterpunch went viral. Fans celebrated her boldness, turning the $500,000 figure into a meme. Edited videos of Cardi rapping with 500K flashing in neon across the screen. Tweets joking that they too wanted to counter-sue for $500,000. One fan wrote, "This is why we love Cardi. She doesn't just survive, she flips the script and makes history." Critics. Not everyone was supportive. Some critics argued that Cardi's countersuit, though legally sound, sent the wrong message about celebrity power. A columnist in the Wall Street Journal warned, "This case could discourage ordinary citizens from pursuing legitimate claims against celebrities, for fear of financial retribution." But others pushed back, noting that Cain's original lawsuit was found baseless. "There's a difference between silencing criticism and punishing malicious lies," countered a piece in The Atlantic. Media analysis. Legal analysts emphasized the broader significance. Counter-suits for malicious prosecution are rare, but when they succeed, they set an important precedent, said Professor Angela Reed of NYU Law. They remind us that the courtroom is not a playground for intimidation. It has real consequences. Talk shows debated whether Cardi's boldness would embolden other celebrities to fight back against opportunistic lawsuits rather than settle quietly. Broader implications. Celebrity legal battles in the spotlight. Cardi B's victory and countersuit reverberated across the entertainment industry. For years, celebrities have faced a wave of lawsuits, some legitimate, others frivolous. Many opt to settle quietly to avoid reputational damage, even when the claims are dubious. Cardi's case challenged that norm. By fighting publicly and counter-suing, she signaled a new strategy: confront, discredit, and then hold the accuser accountable. For celebrities, the case served as a blueprint. Already, attorneys representing other artists cited Cardi's case as evidence that fighting back can work. One unnamed pop star's legal team reportedly prepared a similar countersuit against a tabloid writer. For the legal system, the verdict raised questions about access to justice. Would average individuals now fear suing celebrities, even when claims were valid? Or would the deterrent effect only discourage baseless lawsuits? Judges across the country debated new guidelines for handling high-profile defamation cases. For the public, for Cardi's fans and critics alike, the case illuminated the human toll of litigation. Beyond the glamour and headlines, the ordeal revealed the anxiety, sleepless nights, and business setbacks that even a global superstar endures when dragged through court. Conclusion: Cardi B's message to the world. When Cardi B walked out of the courthouse for the last time in this saga, she did so with her head high and her record clear. She had defeated a multi-million-dollar lawsuit and secured a $500,000 countersuit victory. But more importantly, she had transformed what could have been a damaging chapter into a story of resilience and retaliation. Her final statement to the press captured the essence of the journey. This wasn't about money. This was about respect. I stood up for myself because I refused to let lies win. I hope my fight inspires others, women, artists, anyone, to know they don't have to stay quiet. The truth is power, and I used mine. In the annals of celebrity legal battles, Cardi B's double triumph will be remembered not just for the dollars involved but for the defiance it embodied. She didn't merely defend herself, she redefined the game. And as the cameras flashed, and fans screamed her name from behind barricades, Cardi B once again proved what she has always known. Whether in music, culture, or courtrooms, she is a force to be reckoned with.